good?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to another episode of the It Gets Better, I Swear podcast. I'm your host, Louis Beans, and I'm here with Merc with the Mic.
What is going on? What is going on?
Chillin', chillin', Merc. What it is.
Not much, man. Just been playing Jedi Survivor since Wednesday, and the game is fantastic for system for the console. I'll be clear with
Yes,
that,
sir.
because I know the PC run right now is running like shit right now,
It is on fire.
and it's like 150 gigs, 158 gigs too. It's like Jesus.
Well, that means it just looks good.
Yeah, it honestly, I'm playing on the PS5 and it's a beautiful game. It looks a lot. It looks more cleaner than the last PS4. Well, they updated the PS5, the first one to the PS5, and it looks way better. It moves way better. Um, I ran through the first one within the week before this one came out, and I'm really digging the story so far. The gameplay is a lot of fun, and it just looks pretty. It's a pretty game. I don't want to spoil anything with the games because it just came out, but there's a lot of cool different styles. There's a lot of like new Jedi play. Like you actually used Kylo Ren's like broadsword lightsaber in this.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
have like a saber and a gun in this. They have, and then they have the other. They have a dual wield sabers. Then you have the double saber with the Darth Maul, and then they have the regular lightsaber.
What is it? This one, since it's a sequel, what did they change actually
They
that you could
added
feel?
things. They added more than change, and they changed his movement to be more natural.
Okay.
But they added more powers. I think they added a little bit of everything more into the game. They added more like stances for the lightsaber. They added the blaster lightsaber combo. They added the broadsword and stuff like that. So it kind of gives you different gameplay with those. The powers they changed. They added more stuff to it. They actually added ones that you can actually mimic people and like Jedi mind trick people and things like that. They also have ones that you could take control of people and they have them fight each other and things like that. So like not you only was able to do that to the droids last game. So this one you actually can do this to the people and shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's 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 mass. It's a big maps. Very God of War style like maps. There's an agenda for you to go through, but there's a lot of things to kind of wander around and they kind of place things for you. So, like, say for instance, you don't have the power yet, they'll make it red so you can come back to it, things like that. So it kind of helps you like complete the game. But I'm really enjoying it. It's a really good step up. If I give it a score right now from what I've been playing so far, and I'll say I'm maybe 30% in, 30-40% in. I'll give it an 8, 8.5
Okay. Mm-hmm.
out of
Mm-hmm.
10. I know it's getting like 8.5, 9. That's like the average. I'll give it 8.5 right now. If I get more into the story, then I'll give you a full answer after that.
Okay. Yes, sir.
You've been playing anything new?
No, I just finished Resident Evil, and
How you like it?
that's about it. It's good,
Yeah.
very good. It's a bit, it's busted in a good way because there's some glitches and stuff in it, but it's stuff that's not necessary to patch out.
Okay.
It's just sometimes some funny stuff happens, and then there's this one glitch that people use to skip stuff. So it's like, you know what? They probably are not gonna, they're probably are not gonna patch that out. They might because the time. uh, because speed running is a thing, and maybe they don't want that glitch to be the only way you can do certain things, because that's usually how speed running is. You find the glitch and you use it to move through the world faster, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they might want to take that out, but it's something where it's you have to try to do the glitches. Basically, it's not something where you could just be like, oh, it happened by accident and now I'm over here now. It's more like you got to do certain things with the camera and guns, and it's like I can see them not touching that. There's maybe a few other things that involve some randomness with the guns, because they didn't they neglected to add to the menus an accuracy stat for the weapons because people are finding out that one of the things that they say in game, but they don't. There's no way for you to know it unless you just pay attention as you're shooting. Is that the bullets have spread that's a little ridiculous sometimes.
Yeah.
So the little cursor that you point on the enemy, does not always reflect where you're going to shoot. And sometimes it's just like I think they could do something better to fix the hit detection on some of the bullets. I'm just saying some of the stuff looks a little off because sometimes it's a pistol, and traditionally that type of weapon does not have much spread.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in the case that some people were showing off, is like, oh yeah, you can have it pointed directly at somebody's head and it shoots them like in the chest or something. It's like, oh yeah, I see that. Like if they had made that more, they vocalized that that is the thing about the bullet spread, people will probably be less upset. But you know what? If they didn't fix it, I wouldn't be mad.
Nice.
But if they did, I would be like, I can understand that. So other than that, there's a few like little weird things in that game. But other as of right now, for what has come out this year, I will put that as my game of the year.
Okay.
The only other thing I'm looking forward to that would probably be up there is that I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
would either be Diablo 4, because I told you that game is Diablo crack,
Yeah.
or it would be what I'm seeing of it. I don't know, and I think they have to put out a demo. But from what I'm seeing from Armor Core 6, and that's like the brand new thing,
They just added a trailer, right?
they added a more detailed trailer because it has a few what you would assume is gameplay, but they have not. There's no words. There's
Okay.
nobody telling you this is the so and so system. Like there's no explanation here. You're just watching some action stuff,
Okay.
and you have to guess. Does that look like gameplay? It could be.
Is it?
So that's where they're at with that. But they went ahead and they being from software
Yeah.
announced this past week the date for the game.
Yeah.
So at least they know it's coming out in August. I think it's the second week of August. I think it's like the 13th of August or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, this game was being made for a while because usually they don't announce the date for a game until until it's less than like I guess less than a year.
Okay.
Less than a year. Otherwise, they will always say coming soon or you know how they do the fall
Yeah.
or they do the
Third
winter.
quarter or some shit like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So it's almost ready, which is surprising because this game was announced the end of last year,
Yeah.
not the beginning, not the middle, the end of last year. So that's very soon. So I hope they cooked it all the way. That's
Yeah.
all. It's been a while, man. The last Armor Core, there was no Armor Core that started on this generation. So the last one was PS3/360, I think.
Damn.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
So the
Looks
last
good.
thing that you want, yeah, it does. The last thing that anybody wants though is for the game to not be baked all the way and it be buggy and stuff. So I
Uh,
hope I hope it's almost ready, but I want a demo.
we don't want
Just
a doughy game.
no, I don't want anything to end up like Star Wars on PC. Like right now, that
No.
game is great on everything else, but on PC is high garbage,
Yes.
and it shouldn't be that way because it's respawn. I thought you knew better, but anyway, that's all I'm saying. I don't want that to be a repeat. So we'll see. It looked good.
Yeah, it does look
It
good.
looked good. I'm also curious about the soundtrack because the last one went a certain direction.
Okay.
I thought was kind of ass. Because I say that because Armor Core, to people who like the series, realize that that music has like a pedigree with the music. It's
Yeah.
really, really good.
Okay.
So for the genre, for like that, I think it's like classified as electro. Not
Okay.
really trance, but like electro is what it's classified as. And for that, it is good. and Armored Core 5 was something else, and I thought it was bad. So we will see.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I've been like Fallen Order. Survivor is actually kind of up there with my top games right now. The only thing also I'm looking forward to this year, well, Diablo, I'm definitely probably going to pick up because I did like Diablo 3. So I know how addicting that game is, and the fact that I've been playing at work kind of thing. So I'll take my tablet and play my PS5 at work, and more likely I'll get it. Um, the other one I'm looking forward to, but it still hasn't have a renounced release date, is Spider-Man 2.
Hmm.
So that's my next one that I want. And then Street Fighter's right around the corner. Diablo's right around the corner. That's in June, right, or May?
Both of them in June.
Oh,
Yes.
so June's gonna be busy. Gonna be a busy, busy time.
Hmm. And the good thing is, it's separate, completely separate genres, so it's not like it's fighting for the same space,
Yes,
which is good.
there's time for both.
No, there's not time for
There's
both. If you play Diablo crack, I don't know if there's time for anything else. So that's the problem.
well, choose your time wisely.
Hmm. Hmm.
There you go.
Like I thank you to the last demo that they did is not timed for Street Fighter, so you can still play it if you download it. It is not a timed demo, as far as I know.
I played it. I played it a bit. I played
So
it
I'm
pretty
just
good.
saying, thankfully, because of that, people have more casual people have a feel for it because remember everything before was timed and whatnot. So this is extremely casual, just jump in and play with Ryu or Luke.
Yeah.
So at least people got a feel for Street Fighter. I'd say, yeah, people got a feel for Diablo, but that was a closed beta situation. Well, it was an open beta situation, but you had to get in there, and it was also confined to a weekend.
Yeah.
And then so what they want to do, I don't know exactly when it is. I think it might be this month, because well, May. I think they want to do one more.
Okay.
They want to test it one more time.
I'm here for
So
it.
I'm looking forward to that. Um, I don't know how long it's gonna be. That I don't know. I don't know how long that one's gonna be. But man, it shouldn't be like that, man. It should not be Diablo crack. I didn't know. I
Yeah.
didn't know. I
You
didn't
got a
know.
taste for it, and now you want more.
It shouldn't be that.
Yeah, that's actually pretty
So
cool.
like I said, it's between Resident Evil, it's between Diablo crack, and we'll see where Armored Core falls. If it's good, if it's bad, we'll see.
All right. We will be on the lookout for that.
I know you said movie wise, there was some trailers. You said was the Beast Wars one new or was that last week?
It's the first trailer. Transformers: Rise of the Beast. So they're adding the Beast Wars characters into the Transformer movies. This is off of Bumblebee. So that was their first. That was their movie that they're kind of making the sequel off of, and not the original ones that came out already. I did like Bumblebee, so I'm actually interested to see where they go with this. But
I would like I would like a crossover between Bumblebee and Bumblebee Man from The Simpsons.
they should make that happen.
Like that's who rides in Bumblebee. It's Bumblebee Man. Yes.
I know, yeah, no.
Oh,
um,
who was the voice of that character? Do you know?
I have no clue.
Was it Homer? Like
There's a
every
chance
almost
that's
every
him.
other character?
Yeah, it's him or the dude Hank. He talks a lot of characters too. Let's
I
see.
got you.
Voice.
One thing that is funny. Shout outs to the angry video game nerd because now he does videos less frequently. But this past week he actually put out a video for Earthworm Jim,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you remember, but the voice of Homer Simpson was the voice of Earthworm Jim on the cartoon.
Okay.
Hmm.
So Bumblebee Man was Hank Azaria
Yeah.
first, and
Okay.
then they
That's
recasted him to have a
that's him.
Spanish person talk to him. So Eric Lopez took over recently.
Okay. So that was Homer. Gotcha.
No, Hank Azarian is Mo.
Oh, Hagazari's Mo.
Mo,
Oh, he's
he's
the other.
Apu. He's yeah, he talks to a lot of characters too.
Well, he's the other well-known. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Is he Barney?
I think Homer's Barney.
Oh, Homer is also Barney. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Hank Aziz, that's the dude, and he was in a museum, a night in a museum.
Okay.
Maybe
Okay.
yeah, he talks Apu. He talks Moses Lecter.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's cool. I forget that there's more than one. There's a few, but there's more than one. Is the woman still the voice of like the same lady for Lisa?
Yes, and Bart as well. Bart from Ralph Wiggum.
Oh, okay, okay, gotcha, gotcha. That's cool. And Marge, still the same lady for Marge?
Yes.
Okay, good stuff.
Yes, she also talks to her sisters and shit.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That's cool. All
So
right.
it's a lot. Yeah, still going. It's on season 35.
Have you seen the most recent seasons or no?
I watch it here and there. I haven't like kept up with it like season wise. I'll just watch it whenever it's on. Um, if I was when I was going through it, and honestly, I was going through it like little by little because once they put on Disney, I kind of went like was like, oh, I'll watch it again. I got up to like season 20, and then I kind of slowed down from there.
Okay.
Um, there are a lot of great episodes. There's a lot of good future like later on episodes too, but they're hit and miss.
Are they? All right, all right, all right.
I'll say they've been more consistent as of the last 10 years. They've been a little bit more consistent, but that whole like season 13 to 20, it's not that great.
Mm, all right, all right,
I
all
think Xavier Woods calls it when Mod dies. Once Mod dies, it gets weird.
right. That's messed up.
Yeah, but it's still going strong. 35 seasons.
Mm-hmm,
Um,
mm-hmm.
that is there's people now that are full adults and would Simpsons was on before they were thought. Like it's gonna be weird when it's like goes off the air. Like once it stops, it's like damn, Simpsons has been going on for 35 fucking years.
Okay.
It's crazy. It's
True that.
crazy.
True that.
It's crazy. Um, yeah, I didn't get no new figures this week. I've just been um, I have been chilling out, so I haven't really gotten anything. The last thing I got was the all pink Bret Hart, the Target exclusive one. I posted on my TikTok, Mark with the Mic, so definitely check that out if you get a chance.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Yeah.
been
True.
slow. I haven't gotten anything. I have things I'm waiting on, but those are like pre-orders that are down the road.
Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the thing that you said was a limited time event
Oh,
for
okay.
Namco?
So before I go to that, we were doing the movie trailers. Check out a Paramount. Is it Paramount? No, no, Amazon Prime. Twisted Metal series is coming out. Um, the dude that played Falcon, um, he's
Oh, Anthony
Roadkill.
Mackie.
Anthony
Yes.
Mackie, he's playing Roadkill, and we got our first glimpse of Sweet Tooth, which is being played by Samoa Joe.
I wonder if they're gonna have the guy Calypso. I think it is the main bad
Callisto,
guy.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
'Cause I was actually surprised somebody brought it up that that is one of the main things you see in the original game. Not see here
Yeah.
is that guy that character has an iconic voice. So I was surprised. That's the only thing was that it didn't start with that character introducing everything. It started with
Yeah,
Anthony Mackie's character like chilling and enjoying his favorite music in his twisted metal car.
yeah.
So it leads me to believe it's not gonna be as dark as the game.
Yeah, like I think it's gonna be more like cartoony, like the
Hmm.
PS1 games, and not as bloody as the Tristan Metal Black.
Well, I mean, I just mean story wise, because Dark. I mean, the story for Twisted Metal One is messed up.
Isn't
It's
like,
very messed up.
and in the original story, wasn't Sweet Tooth and Roadkill related?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
I think.
I just know that you get a monkey's paw wish basically when you win. I think that was the whole
Yeah, I
trick
remember that
behind Calypso.
because one
So
of my
you win,
yeah.
and then it's some devious like evil thing that happens to you anyway. So.
So one thing that I remember clearly from that is because of Tristan Metal Black, it was Sweet Tooth's ending.
Hmm.
So his wish was to get the fire off his head. But
Hmm.
the catch was, if you kill somebody, the fire comes back. So Sweet Tooth was like, I thought about a good 3 seconds, and you see him kill Calypso.
Oh, really? Damn.
He chops him in half, and his head went on back on flames. And he was like, a man has his priorities. And then fucking drives off as fucking ice. That is one ending for sure. I 100% remember because that's like one of my favorite endings of Tristan Metal. Is
That's
that
pretty good.
it was Tristan Metal Black. It was Sweet Tooth's ending.
That's pretty funny. That's
That
funny.
shit had me fucking dying when I first saw it.
So yeah, so that was the era of like when the cutscene endings were like one of the really big things.
Yeah, yeah, that was
So.
like my favorite one. I think Mr. Grimm's was pretty interesting too, but that
Hmm.
was my favorite one.
Okay. Did they say or because I don't remember the name? Did they say that Anthony Mackie was playing one of the
Roadkill,
existing characters?
Roadkill.
And Roadkill, I don't remember Roadkill.
So Roadkill was one of the main characters. Like he was honestly he was the protagonist for the main story.
Was he the black bald dude with the car?
N- was he
Like he had
bald?
like a regular looking car. He was
He,
one of the more normal looking Twisted Metal
yeah,
characters.
yeah, he was more the so from what I remember of Tristan Metal 2, because Tristan Metal 2 had more of a concrete storyline than one. One just had
Mm,
words and you read and
yeah.
that's how it is. But I remember 2, Roadkill and Sweet Tooth were brothers, and the
Okay.
taxi cab that was in part 1 was their father.
Ah, okay. Understood.
So they have some like Tekken shit going on.
Got. Okay. Got you.
But
Okay. Okay.
I remember again. I think Black had the best storylines of it. Shout outs to the Gamer Rage podcast. That was actually one of my challenges to play Tristan Metal Black, and that's why it kind of recurred to me of Sweet Tooth story because I played it recently and I played that Sweet Tooth to
Is
finish the game.
is Twisted Metal Black the equivalent of them remaking the first game? Is that basically like this them trying to redo the game because
Yeah,
it's for the new system?
I feel like they. So yeah, I think that's correct because the first one, like honestly, you go back to the first one, you can't really play it. It's hard to see. It's
Yeah,
hard
it's
to
hard to see.
control. It's a really ugly game. Part 2 is the one you start with.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Black was just to reboot it in a way,
Mm-hmm.
but also it gave it more of a darker edge in Black than it did before that because there was
Okay.
more blood, there was more like that, and it had like a lot of like very twisted, very demented like endings and stories.
Yeah, because I guess the thing is the old one, as bad as it was for each character in the endings, it was mostly like a static picture
Yeah,
and then like I guess a
words.
old school, yeah, old school type of ending,
Yeah,
like old school Fallout basically.
yeah,
And then so the I guess them being able to, like you said, reboot it
yeah,
is with the graphics and stuff. So like, okay, now we could do a full motion cut scenes and voices. Okay, okay, okay.
yeah.
So yeah. Did you ever play the reboot? Remember, I don't know if you remember, they brought it back
So I've
for like
played.
modern consoles. I don't remember which one it was. I think it was PS3, but I think it was on
I didn't
PS4.
like the last one they made, which was at PS3,
It was
and
PS3
that
was the
was
last
online.
one.
It was
Okay.
mainly online, and it was like
Yeah,
group battles
that's
and
the
shit like
one.
that. I did
That's the
not
one.
like that
Right.
game. I did not. I
Okay.
was like, y'all just got rid of everything that what made Twisted Metal Twisted Metal.
Did they? See, I didn't play it, so I didn't know if that was the
Yeah, The
That was
best
what
one
ended
they
up
made,
happening.
honestly, I would say the best one they made was Black. I
They
think
did. Is there a PS4? Isn't there a PS4 version of Black? Can't you
yes,
play it? Yeah,
yes.
there is. Okay.
There's a high def version of it, but it's
Mm,
still
mm.
it needs a honestly. I would love them to do like a fully remastered version of Metal Black and
Yeah,
with
why
the
not?
graphics now. It would be sick. You got the show coming out, so you might as well like put that up there.
I just I think that game kind of was the test for how people felt about car combat in a semi-modern take, and I remember that not doing too well. So I would like them to reboot it and have a more modern take on a car combat game. I don't
Yeah.
know what that. Do you, in that you know of, Merc? Is there a such thing as a modern car
Well,
combat game?
you could go to Rocket Racers, but it's more of a sport, like you playing. But it's kind of
It's not Rocket
car
League.
combat, but you're like kind of like just kicking a ball. It's like soccer
No,
mixed
that's
with
Rocket
just
League. I know what
a
you're talking
Rocket
about.
League. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would
But
say
like,
that's similar.
there's no car combat with the guns, and then you get a special weapon, and it's
They
basically a
try to
versus.
make some games like that, but they just never really caught on. And I think Twisted Metal has those unique characters, especially like when you see Sweet Tooth, you like, all right, now I might have to play that because I got to see what's up with this ice cream truck. So I
Hmm.
think it has those characters that you kind of want to see in these games. I remember them having a lot of bootleg rip-offs, like I think of Vigilant 8 and shit, and there was like
Hey, hey, that wasn't a bootleg ripoff. That was another I think those were some of the people they
okay,
split off.
I remember that coming
But
out. I didn't care for.
that I think that was one of the better ones of
Okay,
the because I went that direction and not Twisted Metal
okay,
because that game was the first one, if I can recall correctly, that had the custom soundtrack
okay. And then so
PlayStation 1.
yeah, so
But like after that era, I couldn't name another like specific combat. I could name you some racing games that
Crush
had
Hour.
combat in it. Was
The
the no? But
WWE
what was the
WWF Crush
objective?
Hour.
No, 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 because you might be right. You might be right. What was the objective in that game to finish like a race, or was it actually to beat the
It's,
other
that
people?
was beat the,
It
it
was
was
to
like it was pretty much Twisted Metal with wrestlers.
it was to beat the other
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so that might be the last
And
one.
Vince McMahon was Calypso. It was pretty much Twisted Metal storyline, but Vince McMahon granting you a title shot instead of fucking
I
granting you a
mean,
wish.
but you bringing that up, that
Yeah.
might be the last original like car combat game that tried to do actual car combat. Because I can't think of one where
Well,
the goal is to beat the player. Not the goal is not to get more points, or the goal is not to win a race.
yeah.
The goal is you kill the
Car
other players.
combat games. I don't know. Like again, I haven't played one in such a long time. So
I think they just stopped existing.
yeah, the last thing that Twisted Metal did was in 2012. And that
That's
was
a long
just
time ago.
Twisted Metal, and that was the one that was selling the PS3,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
did
yeah,
not like
yeah.
that game.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, the rest are like Mario Kartish more than Twisted Metal.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the last one that has similar gameplay to Twisted Metal, like I don't see it. Vision Elite that goes to that one had sequel too. That one had a second
Yeah,
offense.
it did. Second offense. It
A
was all
Rogue
right. It
Trip.
was it was down during the N64 era. I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, so the last one that was similar but also had racing, but they also had like versus stuff was Jack's Combat, Jack's Racing,
So
Combat
that's
Racing.
Jack Combat Racing.
But that
All
was
right.
also still racing. It was
It's still
not.
racing. You still had
Yeah,
to cross the finish line.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So that was the
Hmm.
only thing I
Hmm.
remember. Rage and like that Mad Max game having some like
Oh yeah,
car
yeah, yeah,
battles and
yeah,
shit, but
yeah.
it was not like just
It
straight
was
car
that's not the
battles.
objective of the
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. They
yeah.
had like like stages and stuff.
If I recall, the Mad Max one was actually pretty good,
Mad Max
but
was good.
it wasn't the what you came to the game for.
Yeah,
So it's like it's good and sprinkled in, I
yeah,
guess.
it
So
was alright. It was alright. When you run out of gas and had to go find gas, that was annoying. But
wait,
yeah,
oh okay,
you had to find gas.
I didn't know about that.
But yeah, I think we're ready for a new Twisted Metal game. I think the guys that created it are kind of busy with God of War, but I think we could get a storyline for Twisted Metal.
Hmm.
I would like to see it, especially because you have the new show coming out. I think a game will fit it and just get eyes back on Twisted Metal. Because again, like last game was done in 2012 and it wasn't well received.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, so I would like to see a new one. I would.
Yeah, same, same.
Yeah. Or just do a full like a remaster of Black. Or Black Part 2. Yeah, I did not do a sequel of Black.
Okay, okay.
I think a Black Part 2 would be interesting.
Mm, mm.
But depending on whose ending you go with the storyline. Because if you go by Sweet Tooth, he kills Callisto.
But is that guy? Is he like a supernatural being? So you kill him, he'll come back,
um
or was
they
he just a dude? Like I don't remember.
they kind of gave him kind of like power and shit. Like he had again, he was able to control a wish, but then he monkey ball you. Like he'll give you your wish, but he's gonna put like ants in your shit. Like I want to like what was it fucking Homer with the turkey sandwich, but it's dry. The
It's,
turkey is dry
yeah.
now. Exactly. That's
Hmm.
exactly what he's gonna do to you. He's gonna fuck your wish up. You gonna wish for a big. You gonna wish for brand new shoes, and he's gonna put a pile of shit right in front of you.
He's gonna brand new shoes, and there's gonna eternally be a little piece of something in there. So whenever you step down, you always feel like there's something in your shoe.
Or duck feet. Like, no,
That sound,
the
yeah,
wet socks. Yeah, you're gonna have eternal wet socks.
that's messed up.
Even if you change your shoes, you're gonna have eternal wet socks.
As soon as you put them on,
God, I hate that. I hate the feeling of
you,
wet.
you see, you can never wear shoes again.
Yeah,
Oh
I was
man.
like, fuck that. I'm walking barefoot everywhere now.
Uh-huh.
You don't have
Turn
right
over
you feet.
you. Yep. Yep. That's it.
You know, develop them calluses and shit. You'll be
The
stone.
World Warrior feet. That's what it is.
Yep, yep. But yeah, again, I'm excited to see where they go with Tristan Metal. I always had a fan base, fandom for that series, so I'm glad to see it in some way back. But again, let's see if we get
Mm-mm.
a game going.
That's true. That's true. I think that would work.
Yeah.
Um. So if we don't have anything else,
Oh, let me
I
get
think we can get into. Oh, what you got?
the last thing was that the thing. So in Grand Central they had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They had let me get the name of it, the actual correct name. Sorry. Sorry. I just was looking it up. Where is it? So they had they had like a big anime figure thing in Grand Central that was Knuckle. It was pretty much Bandai and another company that they do a lot of the SH figure arts and like the Gundam model kits and stuff. Oh, here it
Mm-hmm.
is. So they celebrating 15 years Tamashi Nations and Bandai Spirit Collector's toy department will be holding a series of major events that will travel to 5 different cities around the world. The first event was being held in 2 venues in the United States: New York City Grand Central and Times Square. So there was two of them, one in Grand Central in Vanderbilt Hall, and then the other one was in Times Square near the TKTS steps.
Okay.
So they had limited run figures. So they had 4 figures that were exclusive to the event. No, 5 figures that was exclusive to the event, and then 5 that was exclusive to the world tour. Um, My boy has the actually picture of it. The one I actually got my he actually lined up he picked up for me that I wanted was the Ultraman figure because it's his anniversary figure. So I
Okay.
kind of wanted it, and kind of it goes into the Sentai stuff. So I was like, yeah, I kind of need that. So he was exclusive to that event, and he was able to grab me it. So I was actually happy about that. Well, they have like a bunch of things. They had a lot of Gundam. They had Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Gwen as exclusives. They had Saint Cloud Mystic X. He was a exclusive, and they also had Super Saiyan Son Goku as an exclusive figure. Those were world exclusives, and those are like two per person. And then event exclusives was the Ultraman that I just told you about. It was uh a dude. I think he's from Extra Battle. I don't know who he is.
Hmm.
The dude from One Piece, his super mode. That was another one that had a Gundam universe, and then another Gundam universe which was black and white. The other one was the looks like the original Gundam Wing, and they had a bunch of other figures in there as well. But yeah, this was a cool little event. They had like statues and everything all around. I think if you go there today, I think it ends at 7 o'clock, so you can probably see them the big statues and stuff they still have there.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And that's all I got. So yeah, the Ultraman is the one I was looking at that my boy was able to grab it for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we get into this movie.
This week's movie is Paperman,
Yes.
and this is 2009. It is rated R. It is an hour and 50 minutes. Let's see
This
when
was
it was
released in
released.
2010.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think it
The,
was select theaters in '09, and then it went to DVD in 10. So that's how I think how it went.
see, it says the Los Angeles Film Festival in 2009.
Yeah. There you go.
This movie is directed by Kieran Mulroney and Michelle Mulroney. So it's directed by, is it husband, wife, or brother and sister?
I'll tell you right now.
Oh, he's married too. So it's a husband and wife duo.
Oh, he did the 2017 Power Rangers.
I see. They did Sherlock Holmes Game of Shadows.
Ugh, that wasn't that
Wait,
good.
which one was that? Was that uh
I think that's the sequel. That no, I think that's the BBC shit.
oh, that's not the sequel to the Iron Man one, right?
No, that was the sequel. That was the sequel to Robert Downey Jr.'s.
It was a sequel.
Yes.
The first one was pretty good. The sequel, I don't even think I saw it.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw it. What else? He's got movies on him, but like I'm trying to see anything here um that really stands out. You see anything that stands out?
Yeah, that's just the Power Rangers one.
That's all you see? Okay. All right.
I actually liked that Power Rangers one. I didn't like the suits, but I thought the movie was good.
Okay, okay. All right. Um and then they actually both wrote the movie.
Yes.
So there you go. Um Cast is Lisa Kudrow as Claire Dunn, Jeff Daniels as Richard Dunn, Ryan Reynolds as Captain Excellent, Emma Stone as Abby, no last name, Kieran Culkin as Christopher, Hunter Parrish as Bryce, Eric Gilliand as UPS guy. I don't remember the UPS guy.
Me either. Oh, he
Uh,
brought all the books to him that he made the couch out
I
of.
was the guy. Okay. I think that's about it because this movie has a small cast, as I see. It's about 20 people total.
Yes.
um, So what is this about? A washed-up writer forms an unlikely friendship with a teenager from Long Island. So that makes sense. That they say where they're well where she's from. I get that. But weren't they like in like a different? They weren't in Long Island, right? I
It,
feel like they were somewhere else, but maybe I don't know.
I guess it was supposed to be Long Island.
I guess I didn't see any Long Island IZ hanging around. I didn't see a baby MJF out there making parents miserable. I didn't see that. Um, so I know what's his name. Jeff Daniels' character is basically he's the main character.
Yes.
He is what they call him a washed-up writer, but they don't really get to that until maybe about halfway through the movie. You find out that he's not successful because they kind of lead with him just being a writer
Yeah.
and him and his wife going away. I guess going to a retreat where he's staying because that's what he does. He needs to get inspiration. She's a surgeon. Um, Again, there's things that happen in this movie that is just like they don't really say, so you don't really know if they're confirmed type of deals. Because when they start talking about just in general the relationship between the two,
Yeah.
like they don't have any context for them fighting,
Yeah.
or they don't have context for them being separated. But in this, as the relationship between um, what is it, Richard and Abby starts to form. Abby is Emma Stone as the babysitter.
Yeah.
That's what she becomes
The
with the
babyless
as they
babysitter.
call the chicken shit boyfriend.
Yes.
Um, so as Richard and Abby start to form a friendship, there's not actually any indication at that point that Richard and his wife are having trouble. It just mostly looks like he's just he's just taking the time that he should be taking to prepare himself to write. It kind of just seems like he's taking that time to just hang out with the babysitters,
Yeah.
basically. And then it goes on a little journey, but it's like it seems like a part of him wants to recapture a piece of his youth with that throne party later on. Um, Obviously, it seems like he in his drunkenness he catches or he lets slip that he's catching some feelings for the girl. I don't know how old she's supposed to be.
It says 17.
So, well, there you go. So, she,
um.
let's just put it. I believe they portray him as like at least in his 40s.
Yes.
So,
And he also has a superhero that mentally disturbs him as well.
well, listen, I don't think that's exactly what that is, but part of the story is also that to get through his life, Ryan Reynolds as Captain Excellent has basically been his imaginary friend and has taken him throughout his life and throughout his marriage.
Yes.
You don't see again. The movie is pretty. I guess is good, but then again, I guess I'm leaving you with questions until something happens because you're never given any type of indication that the imaginary friend has been a problem for him
Yeah.
until I want to say about 2/3 through the movie when him and his wife actually do have a fight, and she brings it up. But before that, the entire time, never brought up by another character except between the two of them, basically. So you
Yeah.
don't really get the idea that it's really affecting his life in a negative way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah. And
that's one
also,
thing.
they don't really. He was from his first book, wasn't he? Or was it just like it was there? They didn't really explain
I
why
believe
he.
they just say it's from his childhood.
Oh, okay. Because they never really explained like why is a superhero. Like why isn't that character in general?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it might be that he wishes he could just write something as as grand as that character because the funny thing is he always does it became a thing in the movie where what he wanted Captain Excellent to do was the voice.
Yeah.
And that was basically for him to narrate, I guess, a specific event in his life with a superhero voice.
Yeah.
So I guess something tells me that's probably just he wanted to feel like whatever he was doing was grand. So you need a big narrator to narrate it. So I guess that's kind of what I if you're asking me my interpretation, I think he wanted his book to actually do well,
Yes.
and he wanted it to be a big deal. I think that's what he wanted. So
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know. And then I guess Abby's character, you find out not until the end of the movie, close to the end of the movie though, that Kieran Culkin's character Christopher is her imaginary friend. But I don't know if it's more imaginary friend or kind of like that's her version of her guardian angel
Yeah.
because it always seems instead of to be like a friend to her, he's always warning her about
Yeah.
things and telling her things aren't going to go well. But it's never to stop the character from like living life. Is usually because her character seems like she's prone to do dumb stuff,
Yeah.
and her and Christopher for her instead of just being an imaginary friend seems to be like kind of like her conscience
Yeah.
because it seems to like it is always pointing in a moral right, I guess you would say. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what I see. And he's pretty. Again, Ryan Reynolds and Kieran Culkin, they do a pretty good job as those two characters. So,
Yeah. I enjoyed them. I thought they were good too.
hmm
This was a different kind of pace from the movies you've been watching too, so that's why I kind of appreciate it in that sense. So, what are you gonna rate this movie?
I'll give it 3.
Three. All right, you're three. You know what it reminded me? It kind of had like a like. Well, no, no, it didn't. It was like the Nicene contest, the American Splendor. It kind of, I don't know. I thought about that one when I watched this. But
hmm
so your threes consist of Zoom Academy, Push, The Spirit, Batman Begins, Blade Trinity, Sky High, Monkey Bone, 30 Days a Night, Men in Black 2, X Men.
Uh, you can put this above Push.
Push. All right.
Did you like Ryan Reynolds in this movie? Because I don't. Because again, this is my first time seeing this, so I don't know anything.
He was
How this
alright.
was received.
It was crazy because during this time, this period, also he was doing a lot of indie films. So he did this. He did this movie called The Nines. He did this movie called Chaos Theory, and they're all really pretty interesting movies. They were like a little different from what he was usually doing, which was like the teen comedies and shit like that. So it kind of gave him like a different uh, approach to things, and it also kind of gave you a view of if he could have been if he could have played Superman in a way, or Captain America through the
hmm
suit.
hmm
But
hmm
I didn't mind him in this movie.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna go three as well. It was I like the fact that it was just a different take on movies we've been watching and stuff like that. So it was a little breath. It was a different just a different approach on a movie because usually it's like action and shit like that, and this is just a drama. So I give it three as well. I put it over Push as well.
I think this is like the first movie I've seen with Lisa Kudrow in it.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny, cause I was reading the facts in here. Like she's also in Easy A with Emma Stone as well.
Is that something else we have to watch?
No,
Another
it's
hero?
a different movie.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, Lisa Kudrow.
And
People.
then is this like the beginning of Emma Stone being in stuff? Because this is 2009.
So she was in Superbad already after that. During this, so she did Superbad first. I think she was in. I think she did this House Bunny and two other movies like during that time as well. Like she started getting into a lot of movies. She did like Easy A. She did uh, the House Bunny with this chick Anna Faris. The Happy Madison movie. She did. I think Zombieland the year after this.
Okay, okay.
So
So this was basically the ramp up
yeah,
of her career. Okay.
because yeah, because I remember first time I seen her was in Superbad.
Mm-mm.
I think that was the first movie I've seen her in. Cause Superbad was first. That was in 2007.
Okay, gotcha.
Zombieland was 2009, and then this
Yeah.
this Easy A 2010. Crazy Stupid Love was 2011. Yeah, yeah. So after that, she started getting more and more stuff, and then she was Amazing Spider-Man. She comes in later on in
Yeah, yeah,
2012.
that's true.
So yeah,
She's in Sleeping Dogs. I didn't know that.
yeah, she's a voice there. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
cool. All right, our next movie is Losers.
No idea what that is.
This is it's pretty much like a mercenary kind of movie. It's with Chris Evans. Uh, it has actually a pretty big cast. So I'll give you a little preview of what we got next.
Mhm.
Losers. So Losers is a 2010 film and is starring Zoe Sadal, the chick that played Gamora.
Oh, Saldana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Aegis Alba, Chris Evans, Oscar Hayente, I don't know his name, Jason Patrick, Columbus Short. And it's like a group of mercenaries and stuff like that. It kind of reminds me of that game Mercenaries. The way this game kind of movie was.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty good though. I remember watching it. It was a fun movie. But that's our next movie,
And this
Losers.
one is called what now?
Losers.
Say it again. The title. Losers.
Losers.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Um. So yeah, we got Losers that's coming up next. Then we got Kick Ass. And then we got Iron Man 2, Jonah Hex, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Red, Super, Green Hornet, I Am Number 4, Thor, X Men First Class, Green Lantern, Captain America, Cowboys vs. Aliens, Conan Barbarian, Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, and The Chronicles.
Okay. Okay.
A lot of good stuff coming, a lot of bad stuff coming. It's a little big mix of the two. I think there's more good and bad.
A little bit of question marks because
Oh,
I
yeah.
have no idea what the losers is.
I think you're going to enjoy it. It was a fun movie.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Okay. I see they're doing is it the four brothers for
Yeah.
the post?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was a thing, wasn't it?
Yep.
That pose of everybody looking down.
Yep. That was a
Jesus.
thing.
Oh, the 2000s. All right.
Good old 2000s. Has a good cast, too.
Yeah, I see. I see. It should be good. It should be good.
All right. You wrap this up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for listening to another episode of the It Gets Better, I Swear podcast. Now, we have everywhere. There's that is Twitter, Tumblr, YouTube. That is SoundCloud. That is Spotify. And we got a WordPress. Where you at, Mark?
Follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Twitch, or Mark the Mic. Follow my TikTok also, Mark the Mic. I've putting a lot of figure photography, beers, and everything else in between. So definitely check it out when you get a chance and give it a follow. Um, and always remember, follow the Jinkies.
He's hungry.